Addition and subtraction exercises. It says to circle the operation. Once again, we're not really so worried about the operation. I guess we may circle it anyways while we're doing the problem. It's just not critical that you do, okay? Then we'll actually state the sum or the difference. So let's look at this. All right, one thing about this. First problem, 3 minus 14 is, see how we're starting with 3, and that's positive. It just doesn't show that positive, so we can show it if we want. But we're subtracting or we're getting rid of 14 of something. So that means that by the time we're finished, we're going to have a negative because we don't have enough to cover what we're getting rid of. So let's look at a number line on this one. That'd be pretty good. So we got 3 minus 14. We'll do this the old-fashioned way because, I don't know, people seem to like it. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3. That's where we'll start, right up in here. And then the minus sign right here tells us, see how we circled it anyways, we're going to go to the left. Because minus is in the left direction. So we're going to go to the left, 14 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there's negative 10. And 3, 4, 5, there's negative 5-ish. Right? Negative 10. Counting's very hard. So we can see that we ended here at negative 11 if we counted all of these correctly. So this is our answer, negative 11, because we went 14 spaces to the left and we ended at negative 11. Alright, so to reiterate that method that she had mentioned, right, you can do 14 minus 3 as long as you remember that, yes, this is going to be a negative answer, and 14 minus 3 is 11, so you could just put an 11 after that negative. But be careful with this, because sometimes we're subtracting a negative, which changes everything. Alright, on this one we have 5 plus negative 13. So you guys should have an idea of what the answer is. Go ahead and write the answer that you think it is down, and then we're going to go over this, alright? So I'm going to do this the same way that we did that last one. I'm going to start at 5. And you could use tiles on this one, by the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right of 0 because it's positive. Now this says we're going to add, which means we're going to go to the right from 5. So there's 5 right there. But we're going to go to the right a negative 13. So the negative right here, it's telling us to do the opposite of right. And what is the opposite of right? Left. Which means that overall, if we combine these two, we get some leftness. And so we are going to go to the left. How many units? Bam, 13. So we're going to need some over here as well. There's negative 5. Alright, well let's do that then. So I'm going to go to the left 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You guys are a little off on the counting there, alright? You got to stay with me, stay with me. Negative 6, where was I at? 11, 12, bam, 13, there we go. There's a negative 8, and there's our answer right here. So now we're looking at 6 minus 3. Yeah, it's the same thing. That's pretty close. Alright, 6 minus 13. So we're going to start at 6. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6. So we're going to need some more of this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4 is negative 9. Nice. Let's do it again. Alright, let's start at 6, which is right here. There's where we're going to start. And then the minus tells us we'll go to the left. So we're going to subtract, technically that's a positive 13. So we're going to just go to the left, 13. So we are going to go to the left. Let's count 13. There's 6, 12, 13. Bam, there it is. Did I get that? Hold on a sec. No, I meant the 6 to be right there. There's another one. There's done. Where the heck am I? 6, 12, 13. There we go. Negative 7. You got to count those right. There's the 6 there. So I went to the left 6, and then 1, that was 13. Of course, you guys Alright, so if we counted all those, we could do it one by one and just go 13. Alright, 9 minus 8, just tell me the answer to this one. Negative 6 minus 14. Notice this one's in parentheses, but it's still positive, so it's not really a big deal. So we just got, well, negative 6 minus 14. Let's look at the number line on this one. So we got 0 radical, we got negative 6, we'll say is radical. And then it tells us we're going to go to the left, because that's subtraction. We'll go to the left exactly 14 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And so there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's negative 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we end up at negative 20. Because from negative 6 we went to the left 14 spaces. So we got negative 3 plus 18. So on this one, since it's addition, we could use tiles if we wanted to. But let's go ahead and look at this on the number line. So we're going to start at 0. We're going to go back to negative 3 radical. And the addition tells us we're going to go to the right. Okay. Now we are going to go to the right 18 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's at 5. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is at 10. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is at 15. So we started from negative 3, we went to the right, and we ended at 15. So the answer to this one is 15. So this one is very different than the problem we just saw, even though the numbers are kind of the same. Let's take a look at how this one works. So the last problem was negative 3 plus 18, and again, we're just going to look at the difference on this one. Starting at 0, let's go back to negative 3. That's where we will start, at negative 3. Well, this one tells us to go left, because that's a negative symbol. But then we've got the negative, which means that we're going to go in the opposite of left. And the opposite of left, as it turns out, is to the right. So we're going to go right 18. So there's 3, 8, 13, 18 is at 15. So hopefully you guys see the difference. We got the same answer as negative 3 plus 18 as we did for negative 3 minus negative 18. It's important for you guys to know that because we can manipulate these to be whatever we want them to be, whether it be subtraction or addition. It just depends on how we want to look at it. So, if you prefer this way, then if you prefer this way, that's great. Use it. If you don't like that way, then just change this into a big fat plus sign like we did radical, and then use that. But you get to choose. This one changes because this was negative, which means it's the opposite of this one, which was subtraction, and the opposite of subtraction is addition, so we can just put a big addition sign there. Alright, number 20, radical. So on this one, let's use the number line again. And we're going to start at negative 15, so there's 0, 5, 10, 15. There's negative 15, negative 10, and negative 5. We're going to need some positives on this one as well. So starting at negative 15 radical, we are going to go to the right because that's plus. We're going to go to the right 20 times. So let's count them out. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ends us at 5. So negative 15 plus 20 is 5. So when changing that sign, it doesn't matter, the operation I should say, it doesn't matter what this first number is. If this was a positive 15, it's not going to change anything for us. So let's look at this. We got 3 parts to this. We got the first part, we have the operation in the middle, and then we've got this last part right here. Okay? So, what they'll tell you is that you're just going to keep and then change and then change All right, pretty simple rule, but it's a rule, so I don't really care for it. What this means is that we're going to keep negative 15 as negative 15. But we're going to change this middle part, which would then change it to addition. But then we're going to change this negative 20 into a positive 20. Well, this is nice now because see how that's changed into a big plus problem? Because we're adding a positive there. Right? Negative 15 plus positive 20 now, which would give us 5 again. So 3 plus negative 4, let's take a look at a good old-fashioned number line on this one right here. So we're going to start on 3, so there's 0, 1, 2, 3. We're going to need some negatives on this thing as well. Maybe. Alright, so we'll start at negative 3. I'm sorry, 3. That's where we'll start. And then let's just evaluate how this looks. The plus tells us we're going to go to the right on the number line, which is, well, to the right. But here's the problem is we got this negative, which is telling us to do the opposite of right. And the opposite of right, as it turns out, not just today, but all the time, is to the left. So we're going to go to the left 14 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Bam, that's where we stop. Negative 11 is our answer. Alright, 5 minus 13. Okay, 5 minus 13. Let's look at a number line up in here. And we'll start at old fiber. So here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. And this one is subtraction, which means we will go to the left. And that's a positive 13, so we're just going to go left 13. Straight up, man. So, let's go to the left 13. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be negative 5. 11, 12, and 13. And that stops us at negative 8. Bam. There's our answer. Alright, well, you guys mentioned that you liked those tiles. So let's do that then. So on this one, we're going to have 6 positive tiles. Yeah, 6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these, oh, that's 5. Let's make 6. So these are all positive, by the way. Then let's go ahead and put in 13 negatives. There we go. I made it. So, if we did this with tiles, not that we really have to, and I encourage number lines. Well, we're going to look at some 0 pairs on this thing. And behold, there are 6 0 pairs, and we're left with these, all 7 of these negative tiles. So make sure it's negative 7. Alright, this one right here is 13, and that's 5 plus 12, right? That one's a rough one. So on the number line, you would go to 5. And which direction would you go in?
Right.
To the right. How far? 12, right? So you start at 5, you go to the right, 12, and that takes you to the number 17. Sesame Street doesn't make a lot of videos about 17. Alright, let's take a look at the number line on this one right here. So on this one, let's start at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's old fiber. And that's where we'll start. We'll start at 5. But then this minus tells us that we need to go left, up in here. And then we got this negative, which says we're going to go the opposite. Opposite of the left. Which, as it turns out, is to the right. So we're going to go to the right 12. So let's start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 15. 11, 12. Bam. There we go. We'll finish up at 17. So 5 minus negative 12 is 17. So how is that related, though, to 5 plus 12? I mean, what is the difference right here? That's very good. So on this one, yeah, you got that subtraction and the negative, so we can switch both of those out and combine them to make a positive or plus sign, okay? Alright, number 17, negative 7 plus 4. So on the number line, we're going to go to negative 7. Let's do that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's negative 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And negative 10. But we're just looking at negative 7. Right account. And we'll start there at negative 7. But then this plus sign is telling us to go to the right. How far to the right? Bam, 4. So let's go and look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we end up at negative 3, which would then be our answer, negative 3. So 18 creates a curious situation, because what's negative 7 minus negative 4? Yes?
Well, so you turn the two negatives into a positive.
Mm-hmm. And that would make it become negative 7 plus 4 now, right?
Yeah.
Which is clearly 11.
Yes, it is. No, it's not.
It's negative 3.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I did that. Yeah, that's good. It's 3.
Negative.
Oh, yeah, my bad. It's negative 3. Well, let's look at what the heck happened up in here. So we got this negative 7 minus this negative 4 stuff. So some people call this the keep, change method. All right, here's how keep, change works, okay? So we're going to keep the negative 7, so I'm going to write it over here. This is going to make an equivalent expression. So I'm going to keep the negative 7, and yes, I am color coordinating these, which makes it pretty. We're going to change the operation, which is right here, into plus. But then we're going to change this negative 4, right here, into a positive 4. Now, of course, since it's positive, we don't really need to show that positive sign right here. So that is why we get the same thing. It's more of a method, but it doesn't really help you understand how it's working, which is why the number lines are great. All right, so that should help us to change these also into addition problems, even though all of these in the table here are subtraction. The first one is just an example that's done for you. And then we'll also solve these. All right, so if I wanted to change this into addition, okay, so we're going to use the same numbers, 9 and 14. But I need the operation to be addition. And I also need the answer to be the same. So what is 9 minus 14? Negative 5. And you could use a number line if you need to. This is negative 5, so how can I make 9 plus 14 become a negative 5? I just need to change something in this expression, 9 plus 14. Yes?
Make 14 negative.
Bam, there we go. If we make 14 negative, you see how this becomes, this subtraction became negative now? Or in other words, we changed this into positive, and this positive 14, we changed into a negative 14. Keep, change. This problem is, all this does is it gives us the same answer, but it's shown in a different way using the same numbers, right? 9 and 14. So again, this is just to show you guys that you can go between addition and subtraction if you want. It's the more you guys can understand this, the easier everything else will be after this. Especially when you guys get into like 9th and 10th grade stuff. All right, so once again, we need to change this problem, negative 10 minus negative 7, into an addition problem. So we definitely need some addition up in count. So what would be the addition problem for this thing? Yes?
Negative 10 plus 7.
Bam, there you go. And then it wanted the simplified, which is just the answer. What's negative 10 minus negative 7 or negative 10 plus 7? Yes?
Negative 3.
That's correct. Both of these would come out as negative 3 as the answer. Negative 5 minus 3, again, we're going to change this to plus. So what would that be?
Negative 3.
What? Wait, what goes here in the front? Negative 5, very good. What goes in the back behind the?
Negative 3.
And negative 3, there we go. Put in parentheses. What do these two equal?
8.
There you go, negative 8. All right. Change that to addition and then give us the answer, please.
Okay, so you keep 6, and then you change the minus into a plus, and then you do -8 into a +8, and then you said it would be 6 plus 8 pretty much, and then that's your answer. So it'd be 14.
Can you write that in there, please?
Yes.
And circle that 14 over there. Just so we know it's not 814. Thank you. Yes, the answer is 14, and we have 6 plus, now that's a +8. All right, number 30, all we want is some kind of, it said addition. So we need to write some kind of subtraction problem to get -4. So does anyone have one that they think would work? Yeah?
Wait, can I do it?
Now just tell us.
-3 minus -7 parentheses.
All right, what do you guys think? Would this one work?
You need still have the -4.
Yeah, the answer should be -4, right?
That would equal 4.
Yeah, this one would equal +4.
So maybe just switch it.
So, well, yeah, what could we change about this? Yes, right there.
Make the -7 to +7.
Okay. Does that fix it?
No, you still need to change it.
All right, yeah.
Move the 7 in the front.
Move the 7 into the front,
Yeah, and put it as a -7.
so make the 7 negative.
Yeah, then put the minus
Minus -3, did I hear that right? All right, very good, that would work. On this top one, if you just erase that negative for the 3, that works as well. All right, yeah, that now would equal a -4. So both of these equal -4. Does anyone have any others that will work? Yeah,
6 minus -8.
6 minus -8
Plus.
plus -8?
Yeah.
That's close. You are close.
Wait, but doesn't it have to be subtraction?
Yeah, and again, yes, that's very good. It should be subtraction, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It wasn't.
so this one's close.
Oh, well.
Does someone have a different one? What if the first number is -1? What would we have to subtract from it?
Negative.
Yes? Okay, yeah. So -4, we'll just say -0, that works.
Yeah.
Now if I have this -1 and I'm going to subtract something from it, what would I have to subtract from -1 to make this -4? Yes?
3.
Just a +3 there, yep. Very good. What if I had -10? What would I have to subtract from -10 to get a -4?
6.
Very good, -6. And that would equal -4. So we're going to get 4 using addition, but we'll also use subtraction. All right, so if I was adding, what would I add together? 2 plus 2, right? Well, if I was subtracting and I use the same numbers, 2 and 2, what would I do?
Negative.
Because we do need subtraction, right? So what would it be?
0.
No, we need to change it so it's the same answer, right? It needs to equal 4. Yes?
4 minus 0.
Well, no, let's use this 2 minus 2 stuff, right? We need to change something about this, or some things about it to make it 4, right? Yes?
2 minus -2.
There you go. We just need to make this second 2 a negative. All right, what other two numbers add up to 4? Yeah,
4 and 0.
4 and 0. That's nice. What other two numbers? 3 and 1. Give me a negative number to use. We'll make the first number negative. Let's use some addition. Yeah,
-4 plus 8.
-4 plus 8. Yes, this would work. So let's use the same numbers, 4 and 8, in the same order, but let's change this to subtraction. What do we need to change about this? 4 minus 8 to make this equal 4. Let's show the changes in green here. Yeah,
Make it a -8, maybe?
alright. If we do that, and we can, what else do we need to change? Yeah.
Do we change the minus sign to a plus sign?
Well, no, we need it to be subtraction.
Make the 4 negative?
There you go. We need the 4 to be negative. Remember that? The first number is always going to stay or keep.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that needs to stay in -4. Alright, let's look at that. 3 minus -1, right? That works. So let's use the same number as 3 and 1. How do we change this into addition and problem? What do we need to change about this? Yeah? Which, what?
On the additional one?
Yeah, on the bottom there, 3 plus 1. What do we need to change? Yeah?
Make the 1 positive.
No, it already is positive.
Wait, you wouldn't change it.
Yeah, you wouldn't change anything right there. There's nothing to change on this one. Let's get started on number 21, -2 minus 6. On these problems, it wants us to change all of these into, because they're all subtraction, if you guys didn't notice. We want to change all of these into addition. All right, well, before we get to the answer, because I know you guys have the answer to this one, and it's 4 clearly, but let's change this into a plus problem, because that's what it wanted us to do. All right, yes, please tell me.
Okay, so the negative and the subtraction, you can make that a positive.
Which one?
Both. Oh, the
So-
2.
The 2?
Yeah.
So the 2 is now positive, and then what? That's it? 2 minus 6, bam, there we go.
What?
Yeah, well, this is still subtraction, we wanted addition.
So you just do the opposite. Yeah, you just do the opposite.
Yeah.
Do the opposite. What do you mean? What does that mean? Yeah.
It means instead of changing the -2, just change the subtraction sign to an addition.
All right, so you're saying keep the -2,
Yes.
and then change the subtraction to addition?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, this is close. All right. Well, what is -2 minus 6? Let's find that answer first. 1? 4. 4?
Oh, I did that wrong.
No, it is not 4.
Yes, it is.
Let's look at, see why the number line is really great? Let's use this line as a number line, right? Count. I'm going to make this 0, 1, 2. That's -2 up and count. Let's go to the left, because that's what it's telling us to do. Left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where is that? That's -8. So this should equal -8.
But
What is -2 plus 6?
4.
Yeah, that's a positive 4, not -8. We want equivalent expressions, so they should have the same answer. So what do we need to change about this -2 plus 6?
Just
Yeah, what do you got?
you can just like take out the negative symbol and then subtraction symbol.
Right here?
Or wait, you keep just change the subtraction sign so that
Like this?
yeah.
Bam.
And like keep the negative sign.
And then keep the negative sign where?
Wait, on the negative on 2.
On the -2?
Wait, that's what. Yeah, because if you do that. Wait, but then you would have to use.
All right, now hold on. Let's see if we can get some help. What do you think?
I just don't really focus on my brain, so I'm not sure. But have the -2 minus 6, and then what you can do is you can add a negative to the 6 and then change the plus sign, change it to a plus sign.
Change the 6 to a plus sign?
No, put a -6.
-6.
-2 plus -6.
Okay, yeah, that works. Bam, this, see if we combine those two negatives, we get 8 negatives. Right there. So yes, this is correct. That was very good. All right, on this one, how do we change this into a addition problem? Yes?
Positive, 2 negatives equals a positive.
So what is it? What will the problem be?
7 plus 4.
7 plus 4. Bam.
Give me
There we go. What do these both equal? 4. That's close. That's close. 4 is close.
It's 11.
11, very good. Negative 11? No, just 11. All right, who will tell us what the addition problem is for this? So we know it's going to be addition, so let's just throw that in there right now. What would it be? Who will tell us?
You'll tell us.
No one will tell us what the addition problem will be? Well, you guys talking about the answer, right?
Yeah.
I don't want the answer yet. I want what the addition problem would be. 12 plus 8. There we go. What is 12 plus 8? Is it the same as 12 minus 8? No. So what do we got to change about this thing to make it equivalent?
Change it.
Yes.
Negative 12 plus 8, but that's negative 4.
Negative 12 plus 8 would give us negative 4. We want this to be a positive 4, so we got to change something else. Maybe both, I don't know. Yeah, what do you got? Yeah.
12 plus negative 8.
Bam, there you go. 12 plus negative 8. And both of these equal fewer.
I thought it was.
27, let's change this one into an addition problem.
Yes.
So let's go and put that addition sign in there because we know we're going to need it. So who can tell us what this expression would be as addition? Yes, right here. You. Negative 1 plus 15. Correct or no?
Correct.
Correct? No? No, it isn't not correct? All right, very good. Well, what is negative 1 plus 15 or negative 1 minus negative 15? Because they're the same. 14. There we go. All right, on 29er, we'll do 29 and 31. We want to know, we want to write expressions in subtraction. We want to write expressions using only subtraction that would give us this number. Negative 2.
Plus 0 is negative 2.
Well, we want subtraction.
Negative 1
Negative
plus
2
negative
minus
1.
0.
Who will tell us? Someone raising a hand. Yes.
0 minus negative
0 minus negative 2. Right here. Any others? Yes.
Negative 2 minus 0.
Negative 2 minus 0. Okay, done with 0 now.
Potato.
What else? Yeah?
Negative 4 plus 2.
Okay, well that's a plus problem. We only doing minus problems for this one. So we'll take that one out, but that's all you guys can do. It's like, man, if it involves a 0, I can do it. I don't know what else to do though. Yes?
2 minus 4.
2 minus 4? That works. Anyone else?
No, that's wrong.
Okay, what if this was a negative 8? Then what would we do?
Minus it by
Minus by what?
10.
By 10?
Yeah.
Negative 8 minus 10 is negative 18.
Oh, 8 minus
Uh-oh.
10 is a 2. Oh.
Uh-oh.
What?
What are we going to do?
Oh, it's minus 6.
Minus 6. Negative 8 minus 6, bam, negative 14.
Wait.
What do we have to subtract from negative 8 to get to negative 2?
What? No, that
Negative 6? What is this equals? Negative 2, that one checks off. That's good. All right, what if we subtract out of there a negative 8 though?
I don't know.
Remember, it has to equal negative 2, right? What does that first number have to be?
0. 4. Negative 10. No.
Negative 10. Excellent.
I was right. I just didn't.
Negative 10. All right, now we need addition problems that will give us negative 2. So something plus something else should equal negative 2. Yes?
Negative 4 plus 2.
Negative 4 plus 2. Bam, that would work.
Hey.
Any others?
Plus-
Yes. Thanks for raising your hand.
Negative 8 plus 6.
Negative 8 plus a 6. Very good. Another one. Yes, what do you got?
Negative 5 plus 3.
Plus 3. Bam, nailed it. Yes, what do you got?
10 with negative 12 plus 10.
All right, that works. Negative 12 plus 10. All right, so in each of these, you guys use the negative as the first number. What if we use the 1 as the first number? Well, we got to do addition though. 1 plus what needs to equal -2? What would it be? Yes.
1 plus -3.
Bam, -3. What if this was 42? 42 plus what equals -2? -40? -44, very good. Now something you guys need to understand on these is, see if this first number is positive, then we have to add something that's bigger that's negative in order to get that -2 on that. That's one way just to tell if our answer at least will be positive or negative. Because if we take away some more of something that we have, then we're going to end up in the negatives. Lewis picks up a football that has been fumbled by his quarterback 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He runs forward 15 yards before he's tackled. Where is he relative to the line of scrimmage? Let's look at a picture of this thing. Okay, the line of scrimmage is where you're kind of starting the line of scrimmage. And it says that he went 12 yards back, and that's where he recovered a fumble. That's 12 back, so we're going to make that negative. But then from there, he picks up the ball and he runs forward 15. So 12, 13, 14, 15, and bam, what do we have? 3-yard gain. Now, if you didn't understand football, hopefully you guys understand still that he's 3 yards ahead. I mean, you could just say that if you understood that much, okay? So it says again to circle the operation. We're not too worried about that. And then we'll find the sum or the difference. We'll draw a number line if it's necessary, and then we can change the expression to addition if it's necessary, okay? All right, so this one we can just take answers. 2 minus 8 is? -6, bam. 3 minus -2? -5? 1. -1. What is it? How do you get 1? We got 1?
Positive 5.
5. What?
5?
5? What? What is it?
Positive 5.
Very good, yeah. Remember, we're going to keep this 3 a positive. We're going to change this action and this one right count. 3 plus 2, bam, 5. 42, -4 minus 5. 1. -9. What else? Maybe a positive 9.
Yeah.
Is it -1? Uh-oh. 4 different answers. Which one is it? -9? I heard a couple people say -9. Anyone think it's 1?
I do.
Bam. A couple of you guys. -1? What about a positive 9er? All right, let's take a gander at this one. So, let's draw ourselves a number line right count. And we're going to start at 0, -1, 2, 3, 4, -4, right? And which direction are we going to go in? We're going to go to the left. How many? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That, sure enough, is -9er. So this one is the correct answer. Let's get rid of this garbage. Any questions on that one? Keep that quieter, okay? Otherwise it goes in the garbage. All right, what do you think? What do you got? -3. Anyone else get something different? Anyone get a positive 3? Maybe 15? What about -15? No one got any of those? Good. Because the answer is -3, right? On the number line, you'd start at 6. There's 0. You'd start at 6, you'd go back 9er. And sure enough, you'll end up at -3. There we go. Leah owes her friend $7. The friend forgives $3 of the debt. How much does Leah now owe her friend? Well, she owed her friend $7, so we're going to make that a -7. And then she forgives $3 of the dollars, so it's kind of like she gave her $3, man. So now she just owes $4. There we go. So in words, we write this that Leah owed her friend $4. All right, Leah owed her pal $4. Yes. Now we're doing pretty good. On 39er here, this is an addition problem, but for all four of these that we're going to be doing, we just need to show the sum or the difference. It says to circle the operation. We're not worried about that, so we're not going to worry about it. It says to draw number line or chip tile, whatever the heck. If it's necessary, okay, so you get to kind of choose if you do. Let's just solve these ones. You may change the expression to addition when it's applicable. So again, it's all very optional. -3 plus 7. Who will tell us the answer to this one? Yeah, what do you got?
4.
4. There it is. All right, now we did go over this last time. I'm just going to reiterate this. But if you have -2 or anything, doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Whenever we're subtracting a negative, remember we can just change this to a big old fat plus sign, which is what that green poster is saying up yonder. So who will tell us the answer to these? Yes?
3.
3.
That's what I got.
All right, 43, -1, a plus -4. Remember that keep, change garbage?
But we changed
Well, as it turns out, if we want to, we could keep that -1, and then we could change the sign and then change the sign right account. So we could make this -1 minus +4. We just don't really need to show the positiveness right there. And this one would end up being,
-3.
that's right, a -5, right?
What?
Are you being serious?
Yeah, what the
Oh,
hell?
he's the teacher.
Well,
That way.
don't. Alright, here's one way to look at this as well. If you had one negative tile and then 4 other negative tiles, what would you have?
5.
5 negative tiles. 5 plus -3 is -2.
It's just 2.
Alright, use a chip or number line model to solve each of the following. Write a numerical expression that models. Again, it's not asking for models, it's just asking for the expression. And then we'll state our answer using words. Number 1, at the Masters Golf Tournament, Tiger Woods' score is -3 and Phil Mickelson's score is -5. Who is in the lead and by how many shots? In golf, it's good to have the lower score there. So, yeah, what do you got?
Phil is winning by 2.
Good, Phil. All right, that's a good way to write the sentence. How would we write the math sentence, though? Oh. Yeah, what do you got?
-5 minus -3.
-5 minus -3. There we go. This one may seem a little bit confusing because of the golfing, but this one will work. Steve found a treasure map that said to take 10 steps north, then 10 steps south. Where is Steve in relationship to where he started?
He's where he started.
Very good. Where he started, right?
Yeah.
So what would be the math expression for this? 10 steps north, 10 steps south, right? Yes? Bam, that will work. 10 minus 10. Did anyone think 10 plus -10? Because that would also work, right?
I thought.
Tom's leaving school and walked 5 blocks east. Charlie left school and walked the same distance west. How far apart did the two friends end up? Yeah, what do you got?
10 blocks away.
Very good. They're 10 blocks apart. Blocks. Oh, I misspelled blocks. Blocks away or apart, whatever. And then what would be the math sentence for this one?
10, no, 5. No, 5? No, 5 plus -5.
There you go. Well, that's close, actually. You're getting closer. So, yeah, what do you got?
-5 plus 5.
That's closer. You're getting close. Yeah,
5 plus 5.
that's close. 5 plus 5 doesn't really make sense because it's indicating that they're going in the same direction, right? Yeah.
-5 minus -5. Oh, that's right.
Now remember, this has to equal what?
10.
10, right? So -5 minus -5 still gives us 0. Okay? Yeah, what do you got?
5 minus -5.
There you go. 5 minus and then -5. This one's going to work because the negative right account indicates some kind of distance. away from each other. And one went 5 blocks east, and then this -5 indicates 5 blocks west. There you go. Ricardo's grandma flew from Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Minnesota to visit some friends. When Ricardo's granny left Buenos Aires, the temperature was 84 degrees. When she arrived in Minnesota, it was -7 degrees. What was the temperature change for old Ricardo's granny? Yeah, what do you got?
91 degrees.
Very good. It's a 91 degree change. If you wanted to, you could write it in temperature. But how would we write this as a math statement? Yes?
84 minus -7.
There you go. Excellent. 84 minus, because we're looking at the difference between the two numbers. So we're going to have to subtract them. That is excellent. All right, number 5. Let's do a picture of this one because it'd be so fun. So if this is the 8th floor, and it says it goes up 5 floors, right? So there's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would take you to floor number 13, which is kind of weird because don't they not have 13 floors on in hotels?
Sometimes.
Or is it the 11th floor? I forget. Whatever the case. From 13, we're going to pretend like we're not superstitious like that. So we're going to go from 13, we're going to go down 2, which takes us down to floor number 11th floor. Very good. But the question here is, how do we write this as a math statement? Does anyone have one for us? Yeah. Well, think about this. Where did we start? Started on the 8th floor. Then what did we do? Yeah, plus the 5. And then what? Minus 2. Bam. And this would be our math statement for this one. The temperature rose 13 degrees between noon and 5, and then fell 7 degrees from 5 till 10. If the temperature is 75 degrees, what would the temperature be at 10 p.m.? All right, before we actually answer that, let's go ahead and write the expression for this. Does anyone know what the expression would be?
No, 13 minus.
Yeah, what do you got over there?
13 minus 7.
All right, so you guys are saying, and this is what most people are saying right now, 13 minus 7. No.
13 minus -7.
13 minus -7. No. What do you got?
Would it be 13 minus, wait. No, never mind.
Okay, yeah.
13 plus.
No.
13 plus negative.
No. Okay, so here's the thing with word problems is you got to read the whole thing. I did read it, and I'm really concerned now that maybe you guys either weren't paying attention or something else. All right, well, if 13 minus 7 is wrong, what the heck happened?
I just forgot.
Well, then let's reread it, okay? The temperature rose 13 degrees between noon and 5, and then fell 7 degrees between 5 and 10. If the temperature at noon is 75 degrees, what will the temperature be at 10?
69 degrees.
Yeah, what do you got?
So is it 75 minus 13 minus 7?
So you said 75 minus 13 minus 7. No, but you're getting closer though.
Oh.
Yeah, what about you?
So it would be 75 plus 13.
Bam, there we go. Excellent. Now this is a correct statement. The 75 is crucial to have on there because that's what the temperature started at. And we're looking for what the temperature is after all the changes. So if we perform this operation, 75 plus 13 minus 7, bam. Hold on, let me think about what that is. Oh, there we go, 81 degrees in Fahrenheit. Apollo was standing on top of a cliff 35 feet above sea level. This one sounds really good for a picture. So I'm going to draw a picture. She's 35 feet up yonder. There she is, right there. She's watching our friend Juan jump from the cliff to a depth of 12 feet into the water. Not the wander. All right. That's all right. Here's some water right here. And then she sees old Juan. He's down here swimming now. And he's 12 feet below. Just hopefully he doesn't stay there, right? That'd be bad. How far apart are the two friends? Well, we got the 35-foot right here. And then we got the 12-foot right here. So overall they are?
Wait, I thought you were going to ask me about the
47.
Oh, we'll get there. Yeah, what do you got?
47.
Very good. 47 foot apart. All right, but we do need the equation. So what was it that you had there? Yeah, you.
Yeah, it'd be 35 plus 12.
35 plus 12. No. On a test, that would be marked incorrect. Because it has to match the wording in the problem. Now, that is what you did. 35 plus 12. But we need to write it according to what happens. Yeah, what do you got?
35 minus 12.
That's close. We're getting closer. Yeah.
35 minus negative.
Bam, there we go. We need to make that 12 negative, which would cause that to be plus. Yeah, that negative 12 indicates that he's 12 feet under the water. That's why it needs to be negative. The Broncos got possession of the football on their own 20-yard line. They ran for 8-yard gain. The next play, they lost 3 yards. What's the field position after 2 plays? Let's go and draw this one up, because we can just use a number line. That's pretty nice. So we'll say this is 0, which would kind of be the end zone. They're at the 20-yard line. 1, 2, 3, 4, what was that, 5? So they're at the 20-yard line up and count. And then they ran for 8 yards towards the goal line there, so we're going to make them 8 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be at the 12-yard line.
They're on 20.
They're on 20. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, just switch that around, okay? So this, that's a 25 and that's a 20. That's all right. But then they lose 3 yards. So they go 1, 2, 3, bam. That puts them at 25-yard line. So what is their field position after 2 plays? 25-yard line. What is the equation for this one? Well, here's the thing. You started at the 20-yard line, right? And then they ran for 8 yards, so they added 8 yards to that. And then they went back 3 yards. Bam, 25. So the green is the answer, and then the equation is the answer right here.